remain standing for the national anthem of the United States of America, followed by the national anthem of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Please be seated. Mr. Bill Colgan, Chairman of the Board for WAUSM, and members of the Board of Directors, government agencies, representatives from the University of the Bahamas, heads of community and youth organizations, faculty, colleagues, clinical affiliates, students, families, and friends. A pleasant good morning. Welcome to the 8th Western Atlantic University School of Medicine White Coat Ceremony. I am Dr. Laura Welke, the founding campus dean for WAUSM, and it's my privilege to be here this morning as your Master of Ceremony. So at this time, I'd like to invite our Provost and Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs of WAUSM, Dr. Paula Wales, to give remarks. A Harvard Macy Scholar with more than 25 years of experience in U.S. and international medical education, Dr. Wales is among the foremost experts in both accreditation standards and curriculum oversight in North America. Please help me welcome to the podium Dr. Wales.
Thank you, Dr. Welke. Standing on the protocol that has already been established, I'd like to greet everyone with a hearty good morning. All right, this sounds like a good crowd already. So as Dr. Welke said, my name is Dr. Paula Wales, and it is my great honor to serve as the Senior Vice President of Academic Affairs and the Provost at Western Atlantic University School of Medicine, also known as WAUSM. So if you hear WAUSM this morning, you'll know that's referring to the school. So before joining WAUSM, I served in leadership roles in multiple medical schools, including the Indiana University School of Medicine, Ross University School of Medicine, and Nova Southeastern University's College of Medicine. In addition to welcoming and thanking our honored guests for attending, I'd also like to welcome our dedicated faculty and staff and our fearless leaders. And I would like to ask all of you to join me in giving another round of applause for our 2025 entering classes. As our students know, medical school is tough. But I want to assure you that you are surrounded by a support system of faculty, staff, classmates, and loved ones who will help you get through this challenging and exciting time in your life. Our forward-thinking medical school would not exist without our innovative curriculum and those who developed and deliver it. Would the members of our distinguished faculty please stand and be recognized? Thank you. Let's see. Our medical students would not be here today without the unwavering support of their loved ones. I'm sure all of you have had ups and downs on your unique paths to medical school, and I know you are all a source of pride for your family and your friends. I'd like our students' special guests in the audience to stand and be recognized, please. We have one brave special guest. Okay, super. Thank you so much. And as an academic officer at Western Atlantic University School of Medicine, I would be remiss if I left the stage today without doing a quick lesson, giving you a quiz, and giving you a homework assignment. Is everybody ready? Here we go. Here is the lesson. One of the first things the charter class did as a group was to establish the WAUSM hand signal. Okay? So this is the WAUSM sign. It's a crisp W with no flying fingers, right? Crisp W. Everybody get it? Got it? All right, here we go. So that's the lesson. Here's the quiz. I'm going to count to 3 and say WAUSM. And when I do, I want each of you to join me in the WAUSM hand signal. Got it? So this is a mastery quiz, which means we keep doing it until everyone in the room performs it correctly, right? So we could be here a while, or we could go quickly. It's really up to you. I have faith in you, so let's go. Ready? 1, 2, 3, WAUSM. Look at that. Let's see back here. I think everybody did it. Great job. You all passed your first test in medical school with flying colors. So now, here's your homework assignment. Ready? For the rest of the day, every time you hear WAUSM, you should flash the WAUSM sign, right? I have no idea how many times these people are going to say WAUSM today, so this should be a lot of fun. Look at that, they even got it. All right, so let's learn a little bit more about WAUSM's 2025 classes, right? Okay. Students range in age from 21 to 54 years of age. Your average age as a class is 28 years, 3 months, and 2 days. 6 of you have healthcare-related graduate degrees. Pretty impressive, huh? I think this statistic's important. 46% of our class hails from groups considered underrepresented in medicine. Now, 31 of our students have undergraduate degrees in biology or the biological sciences, which isn't so surprising. However, we do have some interesting degrees that are a little surprising. We have folks with degrees in neuroscience, electrical engineering, exercise and health sciences, public health, psychology, and even a student with a degree in aerospace physiology. Pretty cool. 14 of these students have visited campus on one of the admitted student WAUSM trips. Good job, you're a good audience, wow. So now is where it might start to get a little competitive. So if you feel compelled to cheer for any group that resonates with you, you are invited to do so, okay? All right, so here we go. In terms of US states, the 2025 classes come from 23 different US states. And there's a two-way tie between the states sending the most students to the 2025 WAUSM classes. Good job. This is where we get a drum roll. Do you want to hear who the tie is between? Thank you. Georgia. Whoa, so that was some good representation, Georgia. And Texas. All right. There's also a two-way tie between the states sending the second most students to the 2025 WAUSM classes. I need a drum roll. All right. The tie is between California. That wasn't quite as loud as Texas, all right, and Florida. Whoa. Okay, well, I'll just leave that right there. Okay. For the first time in WAUSM history, every single student in this class is from a different undergraduate institution. Isn't that kind of cool? However, there is one institution that has awarded the most graduate degrees to this class, and that is Georgetown. Pretty exciting. A few members of the classes entering WAUSM in 2025 have parents and/or family members who are physicians and/or other healthcare professionals. Speaking of healthcare professionals, 33 of our students have worked as healthcare professionals before coming to medical school. In this crew, we have medical assistants. No, okay, like a little bit, all right. Wow, all right, let's see if the next one gets a little more love. Nursing assistants, okay. We have scribes, there we go, including a scribe trainer and telescribes. We have EMTs, yep. We have at least one immunology technologist. All right, there we go. And we have a few students who were COVID administrators or testers. Yeah, okay. We have at least one ambulance field training officer. That's okay. And we have a few students who've been mental health workers for children and young adults with mental and physical disabilities. We have an advanced diagnostic imaging support specialist. Okay. And we have a couple emergency room technicians. Yep, okay. We have an anatomic pathology technician. We have some lab assistants. I expected a lot more noise for the lab assistants. We have a bunch of you out there. Okay, we have a clinical lab scientist, and we have a person who was a research administrator in a pediatric office. We have research techs, we have lab managers, we even have a student who was a pre-op and recovery assistant for an outpatient surgery center, right? We have physical therapy technicians, production support people for clinical research, and radiology technicians. All right, so we have a really exciting class. Several students indicated they were inspired to go into medicine due to health challenges that they've personally experienced or they witnessed their family members or loved ones experience. We have students who've cared for friends or family with gunshot wounds, friends and family who've suffered from strokes, and friends and family undergoing treatment for chronic and acute conditions. WAUSM students in this 2025 cohort have lived in several countries, including Spain, okay, Ethiopia, Iraq, Greece, Bolivia, the Dominican Republic, Pakistan, Thailand, Zambia, the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, and the United States. Members of this group come to us with a variety of previous professional experiences, including an electrical engineer. No love for the electrical engineer. We have an insurance processor from a dental office. We have carpenters. We have a student who was a Panda Express manager, which I thought was cool. It's the first time I've seen that. We have a library assistant. We have a few construction workers. We have some church worship leaders. We have a graphic designer. And this next thing, I didn't even know this was a job. We have a person who restores video game controllers. I've never seen that. This group also happens to be an athletic bunch. We have a variety of athletes in this class, including runners, basketball players, softball players, there's a whole bunch of softball players, track and field competitors, fencers, hikers. We have mountain climbers who have climbed Angel's Landing, which is ranked as a deadly hike in Discovery, and Mount Kilimanjaro. We have a person who has served on ski patrol. Yeah. And we have a few equestrians, including an English writing instructor, who I am sure is quite familiar with the phrase, eyes up and heels down. So we have hip-hop dancers, we have Greek dancers, we have choreographers, we have a yoga instructor, we have swimmers, we have rock climbers, we have soccer instructors, yeah, we have a Zumba instructor, yeah, and you'll have to connect with Dr. Derricott. We have coaches, and we even have a canyoneering guide, right? Yeah. So we have several students with military ties, including a student who was born on an Army base. Yeah. We have several students who have parents and siblings who've served in the military, and we even have some students in this class who've served in the military and/or ROTC, and we thank you all for your service. Our WAUSM students come to us with a variety of interests and experiences, including we have violinists. I love the violins. We have pianists. We have students who've expressed a love for theater and the performing arts. We have painters and students who love playing chess. Yep. We even have a student whose creative outlet is nail artistry. So I thought that was kind of cool. So we have students who've served as leaders in the student government associations, and we have several animal enthusiasts in this group, including a student who volunteered at SeaWorld, a student who grew up on a farm and loves horses. We have students, multiple students who've served at a dog rescue clinic. We have students who foster dogs, and we even have one student who moved to Freeport with 5 of her 6 dogs. Everybody knows who that is. That's right, all right. We have emergency room volunteers, we have oncology volunteers, we have student clinic volunteers, we have PICU volunteers, and we have Habitat for Humanity volunteers. This is a very giving group. We even have students who volunteered to feed the homeless, and students who volunteered to translate for non-English speaking patients. And this was a fun fact to find. We have 2 students who independently reported singing to their patients. One sang Beatles songs with an elderly hospital patient to cheer her up. That's you? And we have another former radiology technician who would notoriously sing to help nervous patients relax. So our faculty will be delighted to know that we have some scholars in this group, including a student who's participated in research on songbird behavior, students who have delivered a talk at the World Extreme Medicine Expo at Harvard. We have a student who has participated in research on a PCR-based assay to detect parasitic pathogens. We have a student who's participated in research by analyzing conservation data related to Central American river turtles. And we have a student who's participated in research on fertility. That's me, everybody's like me. We have a student who's interned at Panama's Smithsonian Tropical Research Institute. And we have a student who's presented original research on psychological factors influencing academic performance, which I thought that was really cool. And we may want to read that paper. We have several teaching assistants in the group. Yeah, here we go. This should get a lot of love. All right. We have TAs for anatomy, TAs for biochemistry, TAs for chemistry, and TAs in physics. We even have a 7th grade science teacher in our class. And we have one student who's already published 5 peer-reviewed studies. And I'm sure the faculty will also be glad to hear that several students from this class express their love of reading. So maybe you can help them out with some assignments to read. Yeah. Okay. We even have a few pseudo-celebrities in this crop of WAUSM students. We have a student who's danced at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. We have a student who was the Santo Domingo District Go-Karting Champion in the Dominican Republic. We have a student who is a 2024 Guinness Book of World Record holder for being one of 3,114 people who went skiing in jeans at the same time at Jackson Hole Ski Resort. We have a student who is named Toastmaster of the Year. We have a published poet. And we have a student who is the founder and CEO of an education company. I also want to acknowledge that we have 10 students who are first-generation college students, and I know from personal experience how exciting and challenging that journey can be. The bottom line is that we welcome each of you. We celebrate your diversity and the fact that you are one step closer to becoming the physician you were born to be. We're glad, yeah. We are glad you're here, and we are humbled to assist you on this noble journey. And we think the future of medicine and the future of WAUSM looks very bright indeed. Thank you. See, this is normally where someone sits down, but I have the distinct honor to introduce you to our keynote speaker, Dr. Achintya Mullik. Dr. Mullik is a distinguished cardiothoracic surgeon. He's a scholar, he's a healthcare executive, and a serial entrepreneur. His career spans advanced clinical practice, health systems leadership, and institution building on a global scale. With extraordinary academic achievements and training at the world's foremost institutions, Dr. Mullik has pioneered new techniques, built multinational healthcare systems, and guided hospitals through existential crises. Dr. Mullik's leadership began in Southeast Asia, where in 1999 he founded the Fortis Heart Institute, which is a 400-bed specialty cardiac hospital that laid the foundation for Fortis Healthcare. Under his leadership, Fortis rapidly expanded into one of the largest multinational healthcare networks in Asia and went public in 2005. At Fortis, he achieved several milestones. He introduced the first NIH-sponsored surgical trial in Asia, which was a landmark moment in global collaboration. He performed groundbreaking, innovative operations, establishing new benchmarks in congenital and adult cardiac surgery, and he secured early JCI accreditation, which ensured adherence to the highest standards of care. He expanded Fortis into 84 hospitals across 11 countries, growing it into a multi-billion-dollar publicly listed enterprise and a training crucible for future healthcare leaders. This early global success demonstrated Dr. Mullock's rare ability to combine surgical expertise with visionary institution building, shaping healthcare far beyond borders. Dr. Mullock's clinical and academic foundation is rooted in world-class training at Massachusetts General Hospital, Emory University, the University of California at Los Angeles, and King Edward Memorial Hospital in India. These institutions shaped him into both a master surgeon and an academic scholar. His career is marked by extraordinary scholarly achievements, including pioneering surgical techniques, authoring peer-reviewed work, and developing patented pediatric cardiac devices. Dr. Mullock returned to the United States, joining Children's National Medical Center in Washington, D.C., to partner with Dr. Richard Jonas in advancing neonatal cardiac surgery. He became program director at National Children's Hospital and served as a surgeon at both Georgetown University and George Washington University hospitals. In 2006, he founded and became the surgical director of the Washington Adult Congenital Heart Program, which remains a leading center for complex congenital care in the D.C., Maryland, Virginia region in the U.S. During this time, he also pursued an MBA in finance and healthcare at George Washington University, integrating surgical excellence with executive leadership. He was recruited to St. Christopher's Hospital for Children in Philadelphia as chief of cardiac surgery. Dr. Mullock revived a shuttered neonatal and congenital heart program, transforming it into a nationally competitive center, rivaling Children's Hospital of Philadelphia and Boston Children's Hospital. For over more than a decade, he recruited and mentored more than 90 specialists and championed $120 million for a critical care tower project, securing state-of-the-art intensive care facilities and long-term capacity for the hospital's sickest children. Dr. Mullock later took the helm of Careport Health System in New Jersey as CEO, leading it through a 5-year financial and structural turnaround. He oversaw its conversion from a for-profit to a not-for-profit system and served as the chairman of the Board of Trustees until July of 2025. He now serves as executive co-chairman of Hudson Health System, the third largest health system in New Jersey, forged through mergers, restructuring, and bold negotiations. He also heads the global health system in Southern California and Southeast Asia, expanding his leadership to international healthcare delivery. His work has earned him a global following in healthcare. He's admired as a surgeon, a scholar, and an entrepreneur. In 2025, he launched the Global Health Forum, which is a think tank and venture platform bringing together more than 350 CEOs, policymakers, and innovators in healthcare and allied fields. Dr. Achintha Mullock has dedicated his life to both saving fragile newborns and revitalizing healthcare systems under threat. He embodies the rare intersection of surgical brilliance, scholarly excellence, and visionary leadership, all converging to shape the future of healthcare delivery worldwide. Please join me in welcoming WAUSM's 2025 White Coat Speaker, Dr. Achintha Mullock. Dr. Mullock.
Good morning. WAUSM. You have to make sure these thumbs are together. It might mean something else otherwise. I'm so glad that I landed yesterday because I was very confused when Bill Colgan, my friend from New Jersey. Anybody from New Jersey here? Nobody? Guys are not studying enough. He asked me to come for this ceremony. So for a moment, I thought it was a graduation ceremony. So these are the lectures I normally give. And when I landed at Freeport, I realized it was a white coat ceremony, and that is even more exciting. I said, wow, now I really have to tell these people what to do. First of all, let me thank you all, the board of directors I met last night, led by Bill, his powerhouse wife, Jackie, and everybody else I met last night, my friend Dr. Rana, who I've met only on the WhatsApp chat group, and his pretty wife. They came all the way from London, and everybody who's supporting this movement forward for young students to come together and take your journey into the future of healthcare. The faculty, you have these children to nurture. These are brilliant minds, curious, looking towards a future that will change and transform healthcare, I hope. There's a lot of trepidation in the room, I can see. There's nervousness, there's hope. The people who are most excited are the parents. Many of you in the modern generation, unlike mine, I shouldn't date myself, carried big books around, went into musty libraries. Today you have everything on the cell phone. You have computers and a lot of distraction. You're coming into an age of TikTok, Instagram, and instant gratification. But as I flew into Bahamas yesterday, I realized that you guys have nowhere to go. You are stuck with them. So you'll have to study. No options. So your first few years, you're going to struggle. It's not going to be easy. You're going to think, oh my God, I hate anatomy, I hate physiology, I hate my professor, I hate my next door neighbor. You'll compete. You'll decide what you want to do. In the end, you like something. I don't know what, which subject you're going to go for. Like when I was walking in, I met this gentleman, Mr. Salazar. Can you stand up? Is he anywhere around? I think, hey, there he is. So give him a big round of applause and show him the WAUSM sign together. Get your thumbs together. So he told me that, I said, what do you want to do? He said, well, I want to be a surgeon. I said, wow, good guy. He didn't know what I did. He thought I was like somebody from the mainland just hanging out. So he said, I want to be a surgeon. So I said, what kind? He said, cardiovascular surgeon. I said, holy, this is great. And then he said, no, then I changed my mind. I want to be a plastic surgeon. I said, there you go. Instant gratification. So I said, okay. I tried to convince him for 2 minutes. Didn't work. I think he's going to become a plastic surgeon. And he's going to do what he wants and what he dreams, and this is where you all will guide his career as teachers, as friends, as mentors, and as family. Everybody is going to be together helping this man, my fingers are together, this man achieve his dreams. So now coming to modern day technology, let me get my cell phone started. Let me thank everybody here so that they don't tell me later on we spent 1 hour introducing you and no one talked about us.
There's so much to share.
I already introduced Bill and Jackie. President and Chief Joe Flaherty, who's cheating. He lives in Miami. Paula Wales. Scott Ippolito, I met him yesterday. He's from Long Island. Laura Welke, and everybody else in the room. Let me tell you about your white coat. It's like the cape for Superman, only it's white. It's just not a fabric. This will enmesh into your own soul. It gives you access to lives that you can heal. That's a big responsibility. The first time that you put your stethoscope on a patient's chest and you hear the heartbeat and the breath, you are dealing with a human life. There's a person who has 5 dogs right in this room, I think. The amount we love those animals and take care of them. And now you have somebody else's children, somebody else's parents. The white coat gives you an immense power to work with them and try to see if you can take care of them. Healing is something that God gives you a power similar to nature, or some might call God. It demands that your intentions be very honorable. You are truthful. Your actions are not only guided by science, but also your conscience. You will have to have a lot of integrity, a lot of compassion, and always have hope. Let's be honest, this coat could have been black. We have one lawyer here. But in that case, they do good work. You'll be dealing with them pretty soon, once you graduate. But it's not about winning arguments here or doing a deal. It's about saving lives. So a white coat will not cover the blemishes. It'll show you every single dot, every single time that you have a problem, it'll show up. You'll feel the weight on your shoulders as you go ahead and take care of patients going forward in your life. Let me share my journey a little bit. So the reason when I was flying into Bahamas and I saw the water and the little island, and I was thinking, like, these guys, like, they are stuck. They're going to be studying. So I went to a medical school very similar to this. We had 50 kids in our college. We all came in. I was crying. My parents were laughing. So this dude is gone finally. Like, he's leaving home. And I was like, oh, I won't have home-cooked food, and there's no bars around, and I'm not drinking. I was 18, so, but still, you wanted the bars, for psychological reasons. So I was crying. Oh my God, I have to go to this damn school and have to study. And I was not as ambitious as you all, right? I was like, but I knew in 8th grade that I wanted to be a surgeon because my dad's a cardiac anesthesiologist. So I come from a 4th generation of physicians. So I had nothing else to do but to become a doctor, right? Like, it was preordained. So I wanted to be a surgeon, and I got into this little islandish place off the Bay of Bengal, a town called Pondicherry. And we were 50 kids around the country. Academically, we'd done pretty well. And I was wondering, how will I ever finish these 5 years? This is terrible. I hated my roommate. I had a roommate. He's one of my best friends today. I hated the food. I always was late for classes. I never made it in time. And we had compulsory French for some God-forsaken reason, And I promptly failed that exam. So my future looked pretty bleak. But as time went along, and I realized that there were subjects that I liked and I didn't like, and I started studying, and I realized I was very good at internal medicine of all subjects. So I went and I decided to apply for internal medicine to become an interventional cardiologist. Till I met my professor of obstetrics, of all people. And she told me, Achinto, you don't have the personality to be a medical doctor. You need to be a surgeon. I said, okay. I said, well, I didn't know I was that brash. But so I decided, okay, let me go into surgery. And my path took me to various places. But the white coat that I wore opened up a lot of doors for me. As I started looking at medicine, 3 things my dad told me to carry with me. One was compassion. For every patient is more than a diagnosis. It's a human life. curiosity, because medicine evolves every day. And yesterday's certainty becomes today's revision. You're right. And courage, not only to admit what you do not know, but to challenge the inequities and fight for your patients. As William Osler said, you'll hear a lot about him as you study. The good physician treats the disease. The great physician treats the patient who has the disease. And it goes further, and I'll tell you more. So once I said, I give a few interviews and I give a lot of keynotes. I have 2 this coming week. And pretty much I wing it. So I was in a PBS interview and they asked me, who do you follow? I told them, well, you have a green room. Before you go and give your actual speech, you have a green room. They ask you questions and you have to answer. So I said, initially, my professor, Bill Daggett. Bill Daggett was a pioneering heart surgeon who did the first closure of a ventricular septal defect post-infarction. He was in Mass General. He took a foreign medical graduate like me. You guys are the reverse. You're American who are now in a foreign land. I was a foreign medical graduate. We were not allowed to get into cardiac surgery those days, and I got into Mass General. So he was the one who did the first closure of a VSD. So when I met this gentleman, Bill Daggett, he called me Choo Choo. And that's my pet name. He said, is it Choo Choo? I don't know, but you'll have to work really hard because cardiac surgery is not easy. And are you willing to work? In MGH those days, we didn't have the 80-hour work rule. We had to stay within the building campus. And if they saw you getting out of the revolving door, you were fired, pretty much. So I spent literally 2 months inside the campus. I moved with my brush, toothbrush, my shorts, my T-shirt, and I lived there. And at that time, I realized that I dealt with the families, I dealt with patients, I dealt with the nurses and the technicians. That's where you'd realize that you have to build a family relationship within a hospital, within a medical school, because this is your family. It takes a village to save a baby or an adult. And when I moved into congenital heart surgery, it was even more. You have to deal with every single crying parent. You have to deal with their extended families. So as you wear the white coat, try to become the person who sits and listens and takes care of your patients like a family. As you move into the new generation, you are the first generation who have seen COVID. None of us sitting here had a pandemic come during their teenage years. All of you have gone through a pandemic. A famous author wrote that a pandemic is like a portal to a new world. It's a new world. You all have seen a pandemic. You have learned new ways of studying, communicating, interacting with people, and medicine is moving really fast. You have the CRISPR technology that's come in for gene editing. You have recently Elon Musk's Neuralink has allowed a patient who was paralyzed to move the mouse. You have exoskeletons. You have biohacking. All these things is going to change the way you look at healthcare, you look at medicine, and the way you will practice your medicine. Studying is going to get much easier because you're going to wing most of your studies on ChatGPT. I know that. I can assure you, because I tried to do something on my speech, but it wasn't me. So what you're hearing is me. So as you see, drugs are going to come into the market. They are going to keep you alive forever. You might be the last person in your family to die. I was listening to Neil deGrasse Tyson yesterday. How many of you know him? One person? Oh, 3, okay. So he was talking about things, he was making some predictions for the next, till 2050. He said there'll be no mental illness left. So anybody who's planning to be a psychiatrist, please back off right now. Many of the subjects like pathology, radiology, you'll have a lot of adjuncts. Medicine will never go away. Medicine is going to remain because AI cannot be sitting holding your hand. You need a person to sit and hold your hand, look into your eyes and tell you how you're going to heal and what's going to happen with you. AI is going to be a tool that's going to help you become smarter, get your papers written faster, do your quiz properly, and tell your teacher you did it all yourself through research. So today, graduates from various colleges who are becoming medical students and doctors, you not only have to work hard, you have to work smart. You have a lot of tools that none of us had. But embrace innovation, but never lose yourself in technology. The world needs healers and leaders. It needs people who can cure people as well as healthcare, because healthcare, people from America, is broken. That is the reason I have started this Global Health Forum. Well, doctors like me, we are about 50 or 60 neonatal heart surgeons who hate each other. We meet in a room, get nothing done. But we don't meet people across the industry. So you have to reach across the industry, talk to people, meet policymakers. Not only work healing people, but healing healthcare. Healthcare needs a lot of care as much as people need health. And unless you can take care of healthcare, there's no possibility that you will ever be able to take care of every single patient. Many of you will become entrepreneurs. Some will take care of patients one at a time. Many of you will actually come up with seminal discoveries that is going to change healthcare forever. So keep your mind open. A white coat is not a limiting factor. It actually is something that's going to open up your entire vista. You can do anything going forward. Somebody out here is an aerospace engineer. You might be the person who goes to Mars and never comes back. So as I conclude, now you guys are happy as I'm concluding. Think again about your coat that you're about to wear. It is white, the color of hope, and also the color of a blank page. You can only inscribe so much with ChatGPT on it. The rest is going to come through experience. No matter what background each of you come from, today you will all put on the same white coat. You're all equals. Support each other, help each other, work with your teachers. Wear it proudly, but never arrogantly. A lot of physicians I meet, your teachers are serving a great cause. Teachers are the most valuable people. Give them a big round of... Especially the WAUSM teachers. Now show me if you can clap and hold the hand up at the same time. Let it remind you why you chose this path. A calling to serve. Remember that the true wisdom of medicine lies not in knowing all the answers, but caring enough to ask the right questions. To listen deeply and to walk alongside your patients. I have done that. I have spent weeks on my patient bedside. When I first started training, I slept on the next ICU bed for days. You might not have to do that because now you have an 80-hour work week when you become a doctor. And I almost lost I almost got fired because I kept a resident for 2 days with me in a hospital. So you won't have to do that, but that's the calling that you have. And many of you will go to rural areas, hopefully, and take care of the people there because America is seeing healthcare desert at a large scale. 50 million people with no healthcare. Hopefully some of you come up with innovations. Maybe artificial intelligence will bend the iron triangle of care, of cost, quality, and access. And hopefully someday all of you will come and tell a story where more people get healthcare than they do not. In conclusion, let me tell you, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to WAUSM. And I thank Bill, once again, where is he? He's behind me. And Jackie, and everybody else in this room for having me here. And hopefully, some of you will get inspired today, because in my career, I have had more people becoming healthcare leaders than not. And you can reach out to me. I will share my email with your team. If you need any advice, any help, any support in your future lives, please reach out to me, I'll help you. Because that's how you all will go forward. Hold each other's hands, wear the white coat proudly, feel the weight of the coat on your shoulders. And remember every day, you have the golden opportunity to serve humanity. Do it well. Thank you.
As I flip. Thank you, Dr. Milik. We now welcome Dr. Nancy Selfridge, Assistant Dean, Chair, and Professor at WAUSM, to deliver the meaning of the white coat.
Good morning. I'm looking at my beloved junior colleagues. All right, I'm going to adjust this a little bit. Today is the last day you will wear your white coat in celebration. From now on, your white coat is your work clothes. Joseph Campbell, I know what some of you are saying, oh my God, she's going to get into something about literature and history. No, it's good. Joseph Campbell, who was an American author and teacher, is best known for his studies, teaching, and writing about common themes in myths, legends, and the stories that we love in movies and television shows, the stories that inspire us. One of his books is entitled The Hero's Journey. So let's look at how your personal journey to and through medical school at WAUSM includes some of the themes of a hero's journey. First, the call, as Joseph Campbell called it. At some point, you knew that you wanted to be a physician. This may have been as early as grade school for some of you. And for others, it was a vague sort of prodding sense that persisted despite pursuing another career. If you shared your aspiration with others, you actually may have been discouraged. I remember the day I told my mother I wanted to be a physician, and she said, "Why on God's earth would you want to do something like that?" But eventually, you received your acceptance to WAUSM and stood at the threshold of your journey. You likely had or have a strong sense that this is a grand adventure, one of the most important events of your life. But in a true hero's journey, your pathway inevitably has to lead to the symbolic pit, where you feel overwhelmed, overworked. I'm not seeing nods of assent. We need to try harder. Okay, tired, anxious, guilty, angry, and maybe even a little bit depressed. Why? Well, because of dragons and monsters and fears and trials, summative quizzes, summative exams, finals, and the ever-looming gauntlet of the USMLE STEP exams. As an authentic hero, you find yourself doubting whether it's worth it, wondering if you deserve to make it, or maybe even wondering if your dream to become a physician is real. But also, as an authentic hero, you meet allies, mentors, helpers, that push you to grow beyond the person you were at the start of your journey until you're transformed, so that you can return home with the gift of a transformed you. For the next several years, your white coat or your work clothes will serve multiple purposes. A sauna nearly year-round in Freeport. Some of you have experienced this already. Extra insulation in winter in Chicago or anywhere in the US above 40 degrees north latitude. Pajamas during your night shifts in clerkship, an indicator that it's time to do the laundry. I can vouch to that personally. A pillow, and if you need me to show you how to fold your white coat and roll it so that you can use it as a pillow and then shake it out and it hardly looks wrinkled at all, see me for office hours. A hazmat suit, saving your clothes from urine and vomit and countless other human emissions. A team uniform, and a tear catcher for your own tears some of the time. I hope you feel while you're doing your practice. For the tears of your patients, because I hope you're there for them. And for the tears of your colleagues, because we have to show up for one another. And I hope it becomes a cloak of compassion and a garment of trust, so that when you put on your white coat, you're ready to take care of your patients, even when the full catastrophe of your own life continues to unfold in the background. So here's a question for reflection, because you have a choice with what you do with your gift from your hero's journey and how your journey changes you. Do you wish and plan to be a placebo doctor or a nocebo doctor? Some of my colleagues at University of Wisconsin Department of Family Medicine did a study, now nicknamed the placebo doctor study, and it was randomized and controlled, Dr. Elchi, showing that when physicians practice compassion and patient-centered skills, even in a single encounter, patients feel better, and they have a measurable positive effect on their immune response. We can measure it in their lab response, their IL-8. In response to the common cold, and this shortens the duration of the cold by more than a day. We don't have prescription medicine that can do that, but you potentially can. Other research has shown that the pain-relieving effect of a positive interaction with the physician is equivalent to an 8 milligram dose of morphine. That's powerful. Dr. Arthur M. Townsend was a black physician in Nashville, Tennessee in the early 1900s. Think about the time. His medical training and his life as a physician was most certainly peppered with racism and abuse. But he's remembered for having said this: "The good physician does all the good he can to all the people he can in all the ways he can." And I would just add 24/7 to this statement, because even though we take off our white coat at the end of the day, we don't take off our commitment, our mission, and our physician identity as helper and server. Think about what that means. Placebo or nocebo? You have a choice. WAUSM, students and future colleagues, today I welcome you at the threshold of your personal hero's journey and the greatest opportunity of your life, in my opinion, to grow and change, to prepare yourself to serve your patients. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Selfridge. And now for the moment we have all been waiting for, the donning of the white coats. Each of you have been pinned with a gold lapel pin engraved with a heart. The pins are a gift from the Arnold P. Gold Foundation, a public foundation dedicated to fostering humanism in medicine.
We welcome Dr. Jaretta Roberts-Carey to the stage. Sean Amin. Annabelle Benitez. Taylor Kobzaru. Chloe Ann Cook. Kanan Cooper. Thank you, Dr. Roberts-Carey. We now welcome Dr. Mark Coleman to the stage. Cecilia Eberhard. Joshua Friesen. Thank you, Dr. Coleman. We now welcome Dr. Haley Darracott to the stage. Caitlin Gardner. Haley Guinan. Thank you, Dr. Darracott. We now welcome Dr. Takaya DeVoe. Richard Iraquiza. Sunny Jagdeo Singh. Jariel Johnson. Thank you, Dr. DeVoe. We now welcome Dr. Peter Doherty. Michael Kamenis. Farhan Kazi. Roma Khalid. Thank you, Dr. Doherty. We now welcome Dr. Omer Elchi. Carly Lamaz. Eric Lang. Maurice Lewis. Jorge Lopez. Thank you, Dr. Elchi. We now welcome Dr. Eric Nielsen. Trayvon Martin. Gwendolyn McKeon. Zoe Moore. Karl Heinz Moros. Thank you, Dr. Nielsen. We now welcome Dr. Nancy Selfridge. Oluwaseun Oyeluwu. Bridget Payton. Nicholas Perry. Thank you, Dr. Selfridge. We now welcome Dr. Nicole Reeves. Cole Pierce. Bailey Pishner. Mahalia Sandridge. Donnell Smiley. Thank you, Dr. Reeves. We now welcome Dr. Lior Zellner. Xanthi Smith. Jessica Tamba. Nikisha Williams. Thank you, Dr. Zellner. We now welcome Dr. Takaya DeVoe, Assistant Professor at WAUSM, to recite the Physician's Pledge.
Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I now invite all students and physicians who wish to honor the tradition of the Physician's Pledge to rise and raise your right hand. I will solemnly recite the pledge, one phrase at a time. You are then asked to repeat each phrase only after I have spoken it as a unified voice of commitment and respect. As a member of the medical profession, I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of humanity. The health and well-being of my patients will be my first consideration. I will respect the autonomy and dignity of my patient. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will not permit considerations of age, disease, or disability, creed, ethnic origin. Gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will respect the secrets that are confided in me even after the patient has died. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity and in accordance with good medical practice. I will foster the honor and noble traditions of the medical profession. I will give to my teachers, colleagues, and students the respect and gratitude that is their due. I will share my medical knowledge for the benefit of the patient and the advancement of healthcare. I will attend to my own health, well-being, and abilities in order to provide care of the highest standard. I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Thank you, and please be seated. It is now my distinct pleasure to introduce to you Mrs. Jackie Colgan, the chair of the WAUSM Scholarship Committee. Please join me in welcoming Mrs. Colgan to the podium.
Good morning. It is an honor to speak with you today about a program that is deeply meaningful to all of us at the Western Atlantic University School of Medicine, our Bahamian Scholarship Program. First, let me begin by expressing our profound gratitude to the people and government of the Bahamas. You have welcomed us and given us the privilege of operating a world-class medical university right here in Freeport. This is not something we take lightly. Our commitment is not only to educate future physicians from around the world, but also to enrich and elevate the medical care provided to the Bahamian community. From the very beginning, our intent with the Bahamian Scholarship Program has been clear. We're not here to export Bahamian talent, but rather to nurture and strengthen it. That is why each of our Bahamian Scholarship recipients must commit to practicing medicine here in the Bahamas upon completion of their education. We want these bright young men and women to serve their neighbors, their families, and their country. Each year, WAUSM awards two scholarships to deserving Bahamian students, and these scholarships are designed for those who demonstrate financial need and the academic potential to succeed in the rigorous journey of becoming a physician. We're proud to offer the Dr. Pandora Johnson Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship honors the legacy of our beloved founding board member, Dr. Pandora Johnson, who dedicated her life to education and the betterment of others. It provides 100% of the cost of tuition for all 5 preclerkship semesters at our Freeport campus, as well as 100% tuition to the 5 clerkship semesters. The Bahamian Scholarship covers 100% tuition for the 5 preclerkship semesters at our Freeport campus and 50% of the tuition for the remaining 5 clerkship semesters. Through these scholarships, we aim to ensure that talented Bahamian students are able to pursue their dreams of becoming physicians, regardless of financial barriers, while also guaranteeing that their skills and compassion will directly benefit the people of the Bahamas. Let me say that our partnership with this country is a privilege, and by investing in Bahamian students, we're investing in the future health of this nation. Together, we're building not only a medical school, but also a legacy of care, service, and opportunity that will endure for generations to come. At this time, it's my pleasure to announce this year's recipient of the Bahamian Scholars Award. Our 2025 Bahamian Scholar Award recipient embodies resilience and determination. From the age of 13, she pursued her dream of becoming a physician, inspired by her family's battle with sickle cell disease. Her journey has been marked by compassion, advocacy for underserved communities, and hands-on clinical experience as a medical assistant. Today, we celebrate her commitment to excellence and her passion for making a difference in healthcare. And this, I would like to invite Dr. Takaya DeVoe and Dr. Wales up also as part of the scholarship committee. And we would also like to invite our 2025 Bahamian Scholar, Xanthi Smith. And at this time, I would like to introduce one of our founding board members, Dr. Marcus Bethel, to the stage.
Thank you, Jackie. Good morning, everybody. It's indeed an honor for me to be able to tell you a little bit about Dr. Pandora Johnson. Her nickname is Panny, and I've known her as Panny since we were in high school. But before I tell you a little bit about Panny, I'd like to ask her family members to stand up for a round of applause so that you know who they are. They brought a large contingent from Nassau. Thank you all. Welcome to Freeport. For some of you, it might be the first time, because Nassau people frequently don't come to Freeport. But we're happy to have you, and I am indeed honored to be able to tell the rest of the audience something about Pani, who, as I indicated earlier, we were schoolmates at the government high school. Pani, when I first met her, I was head boy of the government high school, and I saw this diminutive little person on the campus, and I was sure that the parents had dropped her off at the wrong school, and maybe she should have been at the middle school, not the high school. But once I made contact with her, I became fully aware that she was of a giant with tremendous intellect, and she had demonstrated that throughout her life. Now, Pani was born in the 18th of October, 1949, and she passed away unexpectedly the 19th of December, 2024, just about a year ago. I was privileged to be asked myself 3 years ago to join the board of the fledgling WAUSM. And I was asked, who would I recommend with an educational background in education? And Pani came to my mind immediately because she had distinguished herself over the years during her service to first the University of the Bahamas, and prior to that, the College of the Bahamas. Now, what do I mean by dedicated herself? Well, Pani, when she became a member of the University of the Bahamas, she taught largely in the areas of social work, political science, and also in other aspects of the life of the University of the Bahamas in Nassau. She was a dedicated teacher and a brilliant teacher for those students who had occasion to come under her tutelage. But she acquired her basic training in Nassau and then went on to the University of Toronto, where she obtained her doctorate in sociology. And then, having returned home to bolster the fledgling University of the Bahamas, she became one of the leaders in the development of the University of the Bahamas in Nassau. And of course, now they have expanded to have a branch here in Freeport, the University of the Bahamas. And so Pani has been very instrumental administratively and from the point of view of being a distinguished teacher during the years that she served at the University of the Bahamas. She had a passion and a mission to create a world-class tertiary level institution in the Bahamas. And she rose to the rank of vice president and provost with responsibility for strategic planning and partnership at the University of the Bahamas. Pani was also a woman of great faith who actively participated in the service and building of her church, the St. Agnes Anglican Church in Nassau. And so Pani has served her country at the time of her death at multiple levels. First of all, as a distinguished educator, administrator, and a woman of faith, great faith, at the time of her untimely passing. Having joined the board of directors of WAUSM, the fledgling WAUSM, 3 years ago, she provided tremendous support and advice to the directorate in the field of education, and in particular, she was very instrumental in the formation of the scholarship committee, which she served on during her lifetime with us here at WAUSM. So we give thanks at this time for the life and service of Pani, and we also want to be aware that, as Henry Wadsworth Longfellow wrote, the lives of great men and women all remind us that we can make our lives sublime and, departing, leave behind us footprints in the sand of time. And Pani has done that both here in Freeport and in Nassau, where she spent most of her service in the academic field. And so today, WAUSM gives thanks to God and to Pani's family for sharing her with us as a board member. Also today, WAUSM celebrates the life and contributions of Dr. Pandora Johnson since its founding. Finally, today, WAUSM congratulates those medical students and others who will become the beneficiaries of her service at WAUSM. And so we give thanks and we congratulate those who will become the beneficiaries, and we say thank you to her family for being here with us to celebrate Pani's contribution to WAUSM. Thank you all.
Please join us in welcoming Ms. Miranda Adderley to bring remarks on behalf of the family.
I stand on established protocol. Good morning, WAUSM. Good morning, everyone. This is a very bittersweet moment. It is with deep admiration, heartfelt gratitude, and profound respect that I stand before you to honor the life and legacy of my aunt. Dr. Pandora Alfreda Johnson. She was a remarkable educator, scholar, mentor, and a leader whose contributions have left an unremovable, indelible mark on our nation and on everyone who knew her. For over 4 decades, Dr. Pandora Johnson, gave her life in service to education. She didn't just teach, she transformed lives. She shaped institutions, she inspired generations of students, and helped lay the foundation for a stronger, more enlightened Bahamas. Thank you. At the University of the Bahamas, and formerly the College of the Bahamas, she served in many pivotal roles, as Dr. Marcus Bethel mentioned. These roles included Vice President of Research, Planning and Development, Coordinator of Teacher Education, Interim Vice President of Academic Affairs, and so much more. In every position, she brought the same unwavering commitment to excellence. to equity, and to meaningful service. Her research touched on real and urgent issues facing the Bahamas, like education, crime, refugees, immigration, and challenges facing our school systems. She asked the hard questions, and she sought answers, not just for the sake of knowledge, but to uplift communities and inform real change. But what truly set Dr. Pandora Johnson apart was not just her intellect. Although she was brilliant, it was her heart. Like Dr. Bethel mentioned, she was small in stature, but huge in spirit. In Jamaica, they would say she was likal batalawa. She mentored not just students, but future leaders, some who are in this room today. She taught with patience, she listened with empathy, and she believed in people, sometimes before they believed in themselves. She inspired me personally to take a chance and apply for law school. And I now stand 15 years called to the bar. And many times I would go to her, thank you. Thank you. And many times I would go to her to discuss cases or to discuss matters that I was dealing with in court. And she would say, or I would say, this is the name of the judge I'm before. I remember at one point I told her that I was before Justice Joyanne Ferguson Pratt. And she said, that was one of my students. I said, really? She said, yes, you have to tell her who you are. So I reluctantly, I was like, I don't know, but okay, I reluctantly went to court the next time before her, and I said, my aunt said to tell you who I am. So she said, who's your aunt? And I said, Dr. Pandora Johnson. She said, the Dr. Pandora Johnson? Your aunt is Dr. Pandora Johnson? I said, yes. She said, your aunt believed in me when nobody did. She said, your aunt was a PhD when PhDs were PhDs. I loved your aunt. You let her know, you let her know. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I thought it was just us in our family, the cousins, the siblings who she mentored, but I've heard so many stories from different persons in the judiciary, in business establishments, in law, in medicine, and especially in education, which was her passion. She played a key role in building the University of the Bahamas as we know it today. She helped secure funding for important projects, including the Harry C. Moore Library, which now stands as a symbol of access, opportunity, and knowledge. She helped guide the college's transformation into a university, a vision she fought for and fulfilled. Her legacy will continue through every classroom, every policy, every book, and every student she has touched. And now, with WAUSM, and through the Dr. Pandora Johnson Memorial Scholarship, her impact will live on in the future physicians and healers of the Bahamas. Anybody who knew my aunt, when asked, "How are you?" she would always say, "I'm alive." In honoring Dr. Pandora Johnson through the Dr. Pandora Johnson Memorial Scholarship, she remains alive. Her legacy lives on. And we don't just remember her today. Today, I ask that we reconnect and recommit ourselves to the values that she lived by. Education as empowerment, leadership as service, and knowledge as a gift to be shared. We, the family, thank WAUSM. We thank Mr. Bill Colgan, We thank his beautiful wife, Jackie, at WAUSM. And most importantly, too, we thank Mr. Marcus Bethel, who brought the institution to our aunt, who thought fit to suggest Dr. Pandora Johnson to be one of 2 founding Bahamian members at WAUSM. We also congratulate young Kanan Cooper. Yes. The first inaugural recipient of the Dr. Pandora A. Johnson Memorial Scholarship. We hope that you do well. We hope that you maintain the standard that she had, which was excellence. We hope that you give back. She was a woman who believed in service. She had many opportunities to live and work in any country in the world she wanted to, due to her background and due to the intellect and due to her hard work ethic. But she remained committed to the Bahamas. And we ask that you remain committed to the Bahamas as the inaugural recipient of this scholarship and make us all proud, because we will be watching and we will be hoping to hear about you as well. So, my prayer today, in honor of my aunt, is that we carry her spirit forward in our work, in our communities, and in how we treat each other. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Miranda. Kindly rise and give her a round of applause, as she has acquitted herself and her family remarkably well. I forgot to introduce her, but I take the last word. Thank you very much, Miranda. You've done well. Who's next? Yes, great. It is now my honor to announce and present the Dr. Pandora Johnson Memorial Scholarship. Our honoree is Mr. Kanan Cooper, and he is making history as the first recipient of the Dr. Pandora Johnson Memorial Scholarship. A proud Bahamian and first-generation college graduate, his journey is one of resilience, determination, and vision. From overcoming challenges at home to excelling in biochemistry and neuroscience, he is driven by a passion to improve healthcare for underserved communities and pursue a future in pediatric neurosurgery. And today, we celebrate not only his achievements, but the bright future ahead of him. I would like to invite Dr. Wales, Miss Jackie Colden, Astrid, and Miranda Adderley to the stage. And I will ask everyone to pay attention as you witness a first at WAUSM and its continued growth and development and its deep integration into our community, our Bahamian community, in this particular presentation. Mr. Kanan Cooper. Dr. Welke. Dr. Welke? Yep, you're up.
Congratulations to all of our students. Thank you to our families and guests. A special thanks to our government agencies who have attended today and the support. We also thank all of our clinical affiliates here in Freeport who have been instrumental in our community observership program. We appreciate you very much. A special thank you to Dr. Charles Degas and Doctors Hospital, who have been a strong community partner with WAUSM. I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Veronica Ferguson and the team at University of Bahamas, and we are really excited to be partnering with you in the future. I would like to extend heartfelt thanks to the Office of Student Affairs and our WAUSM colleagues for their invaluable support in making today's ceremony a huge success. Special appreciation goes to our marketing team, Sean Supreme Productions, Mr. Ricardo Adderley, and NTS Productions for their outstanding work on photography, videography, and the live stream. We also sincerely thank Mr. Bowe and Nesbitt's Rentals for providing the audio services for today's event. And finally, a huge thank you to the Grand Lucayan team that helped to make today's ceremony possible here. We now please ask that you all remain seated to allow our photographer to stage the photographs. These will be shared with you, so we ask that you please remain seated until our stage party and students have exited the room. Then we welcome all of our guests to the foyer for light refreshments. Thank you once again.